13 General Tiberius later Emperor triumphant procession through Rome after siege of Germany. 534 second and final revision of the Justinian Code is published, a codified set of imperial and classical laws initially begun in 528. In 1491 the case of the Holy Child of La Gardère, involving the kidnapping and murdering a Christian boy, concludes with public burning at the stake of 9 Jews in Villars, Spain. In 1519 City of Havana moves to its current location to avoid mosquito infestations. In 1532 Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro captures Inca Emperor Atahualpa after a surprise ambush at Cajamarca in the Peruvian Andes. In 1572 troops under Spanish General Frederick Alvarez de Toledo occupy and plunder Zutphen, Netherlands. In 1581 Tsar Ivan the Terrible attacks his son and heir, Ivan Ivanovich, with a scepter after an argument leading to the latter's death 3 days later. In 1632 Battle of Lützen, significant battle of 30 years, war Swedish and Saxon forces defeat the Holy Roman Empire, at cost of the death of Swedish King Gustavus Adolphus. Oration for Henrietta Maria 1669 French state funeral for Henrietta Maria, Princess of France, widow of English King Charles I, at St Denis with famous oration by Bishop Jacques-Bénigne Bossuet. In 1676 first colonial prison organized in Nantucket, Massachusetts. In 1677 French troops occupy Freiburg. In 1700 Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I and Elector of Brandenburg Frederick I signed the Crown Treaty, allowing Prussia to be elevated to a kingdom in exchange for 8,000 troops in the upcoming War of the Spanish Succession. In 1764 Native Americans surrender to the British during Pontiac's War of Odawa Chief Pontiac. In 1771 Dutch West India Company and Amsterdam divide Suriname between themselves. 1776 First gun salute for an American warship in a foreign port U.S. Andrew Doria at Fort St Eustatius Dutch Caribbean Island. In 1776 American Revolutionary War, British and Hessian troops take Fort Washington, New York, marking one of biggest losses by U.S. forces. In 1798 Kentucky becomes first state to nullify an act of Congress. In 1801 first edition of New York Evening Post. In 1805 battle at Schongraben Russian army stop French. In 1824 New York City's Fifth Avenue opens for business. Extract from Letters to Henslow 1835 Extract from Letters to Henslow, a collection of letters written by Charles Darwin during his voyage on the Beagle, is read to the Cambridge Philosophical Society and later published as a pamphlet. In 1839 US diplomat John Lloyd Stephens and British artist Frederick Catherwood first reached the ruins of the Mars city of Copan, modern Honduras. In 1840 New Zealand officially becomes a British colony. In 1841 life preservers made of cork are patented by Napoleon Guerin NYC. Dostoevsky Sentenced 1849 Russian court sentences Fyodor Dostoevsky to death for anti-government activities linked to a radical intellectual group. His sentence is later commuted to hard labor. In 1856 Amsterdam post office at Nieuwezijds Voorburgwal opens. In 1863 Battle of Campbell's Station Ten, 492 causalities. In 1864 Confederate retreat at Lovejoy, Georgia. In 1870 Spanish Parliament, the courts formally elect Italian Prince Amedeo Ferdinando Maria as King Amedeo of Spain. In 1875 Battle of Gundet, Ethiopian Emperor Johannes beats Egyptians. In 1875 William Bonwill patents the first electrified dental mallet to fill cavities with gold. In 1882 British gunboat HMS Flirt fires at and destroys villages of Abari and Asaba on the Forcado River in Niger in retaliation for attack on British-owned factory that left 5 Brits missing. 1894 6,000 Armenians massacred by Turks in Kurdistan. In 1894 French Captain Henri Decoeurs' troops reach Neki, West Africa. In 1900 inaugural concert by the Philadelphia Orchestra, led by Fritz Scheel at the Academy of Music. Program includes works of Carl Goldmark, Ludwig von Beethoven, Piotr Tchaikovsky, Carl Maria von Weber, and Richard Wagner, with Russian pianist Osip Gabrilowicz as soloist 1. In 1901 three-car race on Ocean Parkway, Brooklyn, with the fastest speed achieved by Henry Fournier, who drives a mile in 51.45 seconds. In 1903, V. Herbert H. Smith's musical Babette premieres in NYC. In 1905, Dutch-Russian Count Witt becomes Prime Minister of Russia. In 1907, Oklahoma becomes the United States' 46th state. In 1909, Dutch football club FC Eindhoven is founded in southern part of the city. Eredivisie 1954, KNVB Cup 1937. In 1914, Federal Reserve System formally opens. In 1916, Berlin, V. Herbert H. Lawson's musical premieres in NYC. In 1916, Russian La Satanere ammunition factory explodes, killing 1,000. In 1917, British occupy Tel Aviv and Jaffa. In 1918, Hungarian People's Republic declared. In 1919, Admiral Mikkel S. Horthy, head of the Hungarian National Army, seizes Budapest and will later become regent of the restored Kingdom of Hungary. 1920, first postage stamp meter is set in Stamford, Con. In 1920, Australia's Counters Air was founded in Winton, Queensland as Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Services Limited. In 1922, Ottoman Caliph Sultan Mehmed Viva asks the British Army for help. Pope Pius Roman XI, 1922, Pope Pius Roman XI calls on Belgian people to unite. In 1924, Cleveland Bulldogs lose 12-7 to Frankfurt Yellow Jackets at Dunfield, ends 31-game undefeated streak, NFL, and Major League Football record. In 1925, American Association for Advancement of Atheism forms, NY. In 1925, Philip Barry's play in a Garden premieres in NYC. In 1926, New York Rangers Ice Hockey Club first game beat Montreal Maroons 1-0 at Madison Square Garden, NEC. Getúlio Vargas dictator. 1933, Brazilian President Getúlio Vargas declares himself dictator. In 1933, Swiss physicist Fritz Scheel publishes the first evidence for the existence of dark matter in his